Hey everybody, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. As you can see, the moving process continues. It's getting emptier and emptier, but it's how it goes sometimes, one little step at a time. But anyway, just because, I may be moving, I'm not out on the golf course. Like I said, after the 25th, I'll start getting back on the golf course, start shooting some videos, start putting my mic on. But right now, it's just me at the house. I can make all the noise. And, I got a nice echo here simply because there's not a lot of stuff left in the place. But one of the things is I want to show you, because top down is such a natural action. One of the biggest problems that a lot of people have out there is with their head action. They don't know, nobody really talks about how to train the head. And everybody is always about the hips, and all of those are having those problems out there to where your head's falling back and all of these things. Let me show you this. This is something. And you'll learn a lot. We learned a lot of this in the country when we would hit downhill on certain type of shots or something here. But check this out. I think you'll like this. Get your foot, if you're in your house and you got some steps, I'm gonna use my steps here. Stand here, put your trail foot up on the step, and then what I want you to do is turn your head, turn the lead side of your head on the angle that your foot is. Just feel the angle of your foot, of your head turning on that angle. These are some of the exercises that I'm going to be talking about. I've got plenty of exercises to be able for the movements of top down. That's just a whole nother level. And I've got a guy that I hope me and him can work something out that can bring you all some of these exercises. And these are just normal old country that if you ain't got the great gym to go to, or if you do have a gym, or these things you're sitting at the house and you want to kill some time, get your step like this and start turning the lead side of your head. Just start turning it up that angle. Just feel that angle. Feel it turning there. You can get a golf club in your hand and you can sit there, with your scap drop. You can get it up here and feel that head turning. Feel that drop. Feel that. I talked about that with the basketball between your arms. Feel that drop. Feel that coming down that hill. Feel that. You can bring it down and feel it. Touch the ground, whatever you need to do. But what it is, you need to get that good head action. And when you learn to do that, now, as I said, especially with top down, what I'm doing is I'm developing that picture in your head so you can see it. So those of you all of hitting the ball and you're going back like this, now when you do this training, feel that training. When you feel that training, then when you go to make your swing, then all of a sudden now you've got something that you've done that you can relate to, of that sensation. There's no different, and that same sensation is no different, believe it or not. When the people would stick a ball or something underneath their foot, everybody thinks that that action is stabilizing the right leg to stop you from going over here. Sure enough, it is doing that, but it's also getting the trail foot higher than the lead foot that's causing the head to go on the angle. Now, the only thing that's truly going to create the angles in which we look and see things is our eyes. So if my eyes are looking at this angle, then guess what? The golf club is going to come down the angles in which my eyes are there. So we're spending a lot of time trying to get the angles with our body, this or that. But it's really a simple concept, is that, if I want to look up, I throw up. If I want to look down, I throw down. So we're getting the golf club to swing on the angle of our eyes. We're training it by getting the trail side higher. Boom, boom. A lot of people don't know that, now one thing with me is that my right leg is actually just a tad bit shorter than my left leg. And sometimes when I turn around, and I haven't figured that out, swinging left-handed because left-handed is easy for me to get that angle, get my head turning through that. And, that was something I learned through my chiropractor, and it's been like that. And a lot of people got one leg shorter than the other. So now, after years of, learning and understanding that, now, I know that for a fact. So that's another reason. Maybe that was a reason that Hogan felt like he lifted his heel in his shoe or something. One little thing that I kind of do, to compensate for that, one is that I just ordered these little lifts that goes into my shoe that kind of get me balanced out, my foot person, I forgot what they're actually called or whatever, but I ordered a little thing to go in there because over time, it would start, hurting my back because of that little bit of discrepancy between the length of my left leg in comparison to my right. A lot of people get that checked out. So I've got a little thing that's going to go into my trail foot. Matter of fact, Ken Venturi, I know that's a name you probably haven't heard in quite some time. Ken Venturi actually built a shoe that allowed him to stay at this angle. But like I said, what it does, it keeps you on that angle to where your eyes can start going here. With top down, I'm just adding to show you to turn your head, feel your head, so we can keep that action as if we're going downhill. And then all of a sudden, now we get on the golf ball, let's try to keep that same action in a sense, because look, remember the scap is up and then we drop. Both scaps are dropping. Boom, we're there. And any good player you see, boom. That's how you keep your head back behind the ball. So give this a try. Set up here, do you some exercises, train that, try to get that sensation. Go check and see if one leg of yours is longer than the other. I found that out for myself. Now, hopefully when I get back on the course, like I said, I'll have my whatever that little insert, I'll have that to get my legs and get my hips back to where I can get to this condition that I want to. So it's a few things that you definitely, get checked out. But that's one that people don't talk about, is one leg longer than the other. Go get that checked out. I did, and it definitely was something that I was like, okay, I see that now. That makes a lot of sense. But definitely go get checked out. And like I said, regardless of where I'm at, top down is natural, it's easy to do, and like I said, I'm just going to keep giving you those movements for improvement. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. Hey, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to join my channel. Like I said, my membership channel. I'll be back to posting some things on there. It's like, top down is just showing me, and all I'm doing is expressing these things. But as I said before, now I'm going to get into this training mode of starting to show you how to train these actions, how to train these feelings. And they're very, very simple, because at the end of the day, the club goes up, it comes down to strike the ball, and then all of a sudden it goes back up to finish. And I'll tell you something real quick before I get off of here. It was something funny. A guy said something to me, and for all my top downers, I always got to throw something in there. A guy said something in this effect to me. He said, hey, I could debunk your top down, in 1 minute, da-da-da-da-da. And I said, okay. I said, ain't nobody done it yet. And I said, so, because the biggest premises of top down is that the club comes up, the scap comes down, to bring the arms down to strike the ball, and it goes back up. Now, I don't know anything in physics whatsoever, because he was using physics as his reference. And I said, brother, I tell you what, when you show me any type of physics that can tell you or tell me that I can hit a golf ball any other way other than getting this club up and bringing it back down to strike, I'll be able to listen. But we know common sense always trumps nonsense. But anyway, I thought I would just throw that one out there, because that was nothing but conversation. Like I said, the world takes all kinds. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. Like I said, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to keep subscribing to my channel. Once again, thank you all for sending the donations. No, I'm not rich or nothing like that. I'm just moving out of this house or whatever, because my wife wanted something different. But, that's how it goes. But once again, thank you all very much for the donations. It's a business, and it is what it is. And if you like what I do, Hey, nothing wrong with sending a few dollars or whatever. I mean, it shows me that you appreciate it. And matter of fact, it motivates me to keep, doing the things that I do to help you all get better for the least amount of money possible. So the little $5 and $10 that are being sent to me, hey, look, I appreciate that. No different than the people that send me $100. But like I said, you all been good to me, and I'm gonna keep trying to do the best that I can. Don't forget to join my membership channel. That's only $9.99 a month, less than $120 a year, to really kick this knowledge about what it is and why all this great stuff about Top Down is helping you improve. Once again, Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. Only got a few more videos that I may make, from here in my spot. I made my last one from outdoors. Now I may make one of my last ones from in here. And you know how I do it, baby. Always good golf.